the button.
What's up, Logic?
What's up, y'all?
And Brad told me that I'm a student of Sosa and Kent. That shit just hurt my feelings. That nigga said I said that to feet.
Yeah, you can no. Well, you can do all
Not
that. I ain't doing all that.
feet.
That's
bro.
just egregious at that point.
Not the tongue.
Yo, what's good?
Somebody mute me.
What's up?
Somebody mute my mic real quick.
Oh, I got you.
I'm not by my phone.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your team TMI tapping in again. Today has been a very interesting day. None the least, it's beginning pretty dope. Whole lot of topics we want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick double back, hit the block. Hogwarts got hit. Man, that hurt my feelings. But yeah, man, what's up with everybody on the panel? What's up, Logic? What up, Hits?
What's up, man? They done shot up Hogwarts, dog. Damn, that's crazy.
Hogwarts got hit, dog. That's the first thing that hit my phone this
Hey.
Yeah, they wildin', man. They wildin'. What's up,
crazy out here.
No one is safe. What's up, people?
Man, we good. Brad said he had to step away from his phone real quick, but the king will be on. But yeah, dog, that is very, very interesting. I seen it was a Russian missile strike, but we gonna get to that in a minute. The first thing that I want to get to is this Kendrick Lamar double back. My boy done spent the block and made some stuff hot. Let me go ahead and get that right there. Get that scrolling across the screen like that there.
I'm in the car, so I don't know how much I'll be able to pop in and out. But yeah, go ahead and do a breakdown of it. I guess if you got the lyrics somewhere or the parts you think was worth coming back again.
One thing I can see that this man is doing, because there's many different levels you can look at this. You can look this on a financial level or how it's impacted the whole music business overall, about who's high up in the castle getting paid while we down here being slaves. We can look at it from that perspective. We can look at it strictly from a hip hop competitive level, from two artists putting their product against each other. Or we can look at it from just I'm rolling with whoever I like makes the best music. There's many different viewpoints. One thing I want to say is the approaches that these guys are taking. Drake has been taking the approach. He talked about Kendrick's splits, and the people who don't know what splits are. Just a second, let me take this phone call. Logic, go ahead and say something quick.
I heard it this morning. I listened to some of it before I went on to something else. But I actually say I like this one a lot better than the other one. I know the other one was a little bit more like personal against Drake, and you can clearly see where he had the crosshairs aimed right at his forehead, and he came at him a little bit stronger. But I like how this one sounds a lot better. Something about it. To me, I like it a lot better. Right? I mean, I ain't even take like a deep dive into Kendrick, because Kendrick one of them dudes you might have to listen to it 2-3 times for you be able to capture everything you put in there. But I like this one a lot better, straight up. And then the Al Green sample. by itself that's already crucial. So he did that. He did that. Did you hear it, hits?
I did not.
He told up. I gotta get to him.
I did not hear it. That's why I was hoping DQ could do a breakdown while I walk
Well,
through the store.
what up? What up? What up? I'm back. This Conan shit is at an all-time high. It's getting a little crazy. It's getting a little crazy.
Back. I totally like your perspective, Roger. Go ahead and continue, Chris. My bad, King.
No. It's just getting crazy.
Excuse me.
And I've heard a few ideas about what this is going on, because I mean, y'all can get into the diss, but I'm paying attention to. I'm kind of like taking. I'm kind of listening to the lyrics. I'm taking a page out of DQ's book by actually paying attention to the lyrics, not caring really about so much if it's a good song, this, that, and the other. Because all these other beefs, all these other diss records were top of the line records, but they were more about, things that we could see. Back in the day, which is sad to say, in the 2000s, in the 1900s, like the kids say. My son just said that shit to me the other day. It pissed me off.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. He said
you're from the 1900s. I said, oh my god,
that's wild.
And it hurt because he was right. Yeah. So I was telling him, I was like, with our beefs, we didn't have all this social media, this, that, and the other. So then you come to find out. Think about how many times we heard of beefs like Big and Nas was the ones that was actually beefing. And you didn't even know. You didn't know that like Kicking the Dough was Nas. It was about Nas. Yep. You didn't know all the like things that we never. I think rappers for the longest time have been subliminally beefing each other, but because we didn't have social media, I don't think we knew that they was actually beefing each other. We'll find out. And I think maybe they would even subliminally diss each other, and then when nobody would get it, that's when we get the actual records with their names in it and all of that. But they've been sneak dissing been around for a very long time. This generation didn't create it, but with social media and a new term called internet detectives, we got people that can actually flesh out some of the things that maybe we don't understand. Because once again, I want to say this too. These is just a bunch of rich, niggas. They just rich people, and they talking about their problems in real time. And as we debate it and talk about it, it gives them more. It gives them more revenue, more income, and then it also gives them the ability to test out new technology. And as I've been listening to these theories, I've been listening to the music and listening to these theories. And I don't take everybody at face value, but I saw one theory to me that kind of makes sense. It's not so much a conspiracy theory, but when you go back and do the research, once again, I may have to be proven right years down the line, but I think there's some things we need to flesh out with this Joe Budden controversy, this Joe Budden theory. I think we need to really look at this theory. I mean, y'all could play some of this.
Which one? Which one? You spoke about something that's my wheelhouse. Joe Budden getting money from me every month, Patreon. Which
okay,
theory?
Right. So this theory, a lot of people haven't been paying attention, but there's a theory, right, that with this $500 million deal that Drake got, that there's a new music company called Gamma.
Oh yeah, you on the Gamma thing? Okay, yeah, we on board. That's okay. You on the Gamma thing?
Okay. So there's a theory. Now, do you want it? I want you to explain your point before I get into my point, because you kind of vociferous in your support of the lyrics. And here's the thing: I understand why. I understand why you in support of the lyrics, because to you, hip hop being a rapper, being in the game per se, none of us are really in the game. Now, you're not Kendrick and Drake and them, but you in the game. If you're a rapper and you releasing music and you're going on tours and you're doing shows and things like that, you are in the game. It's the game. Cuban was in the game. I see Cuban in the chat. If you're a rapper and you've had music on platforms and you've done shows and things like that, and you've had to compete, it's all competition. And it's funny that we just had Ryan Garcia come out with his PED scandal, and now we find out that he knew all of this and he didn't really care. He drinking beers. That's why I kind of just tuned back into Chef for a little while, because Chef kind of flipped it on something I don't agree with necessarily, but I liked his premise that he was going with in regards to Ryan Garcia as far as the cheating scandal. And I think what's going on, if you go back through the history, this Gamma thing, it makes sense. It makes sense. So now you go with why you think. I think Drake has already won. I think Drake has won before, and I think Drake is kind of in a position like Jay-Z was when Jay-Z took over Def Jam. And well, when he started running Def Jam, I think that, and when he started moving with Lior and moving with the executives and stuff, and then all this hate started coming out. It was already there subliminally, but then it really started coming out when he took that deal to take over Def Jam. I remember DMX started really coming at him.
Nigga, LL hated him.
Joe started coming at him. Yeah, LL Cool J started coming at him. All these guys started coming at him at that time. Even Ja Rule for a little while. All the top guys, top 10 rappers, they all went at him at that time. And this is kind of similar. It's kind of similar. It's kind of similar.
But you're leaving out a major coincidence with the Def Jam thing. A lot of people who came after him, or who disagreed with him, were all on Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
So just put that context in there. So if your album gets pushed back, so that was just a Def Jam reference. Great.
With the Joe
all these. Go ahead.
With the Gamma thing, for the people who.
No, don't say the Gamma thing. Let me do it. I want you to say your reason why you say Kendrick won. That's the premise. Hold on for the chat.
It ties in.
DQ said that Kendrick is winning this beef, and I'm saying that not only is Drake winning this beef, he won this beef years ago.
The Gamma thing isn't true.
Go ahead.
The Gamma thing isn't true.
Mm-hmm. But I ain't just only talking about that. But go ahead. That's why I said don't flesh out the Gamma thing.
Well, I'll touch on this. Joe Budden spoke with the dude who owns Gamma.
Mm-hmm.
That was the theory that was going on for that episode. That episode was actually episode.
It was like in April sometime. Like the middle of April.
Pacific with the shiznit. That was episode 719. So it's when he spoke about the Gamma thing. And this was before two actual new diss tracks dropped. The main Rick Ross diss was also why he was speaking about the Gamma, when he was saying you one of them, not one of us, because it's speaking of that. So I totally understand that aspect. Where it was wrong was the Kendrick deal with the Gamma thing has nothing to do with Kendrick. That has something all to do with Future and Future's withholdings. That's the Future thing. It has nothing to do with Kendrick. So back to the Kendrick thing. The new disc that dropped this morning, the aspect where I love where Kendrick is going with this is he's going at the, how can I say this? He's going at the moral fiber of Drake, of Aubrey Graham, from the way that he treats the people around him, because Drake thinks that he owns a whole lot of shit. Well, I'm not going to say think he owns a lot of stuff, but Drake has a lot of people around him, and he thinks he controls a whole lot of people around him, and there's a lot of leaks going on within his camp, which is being exposed right now. On the greater tip, what I love about this is Kendrick is Kendrick is really touching on the moral fabric of this whole hip hop shit when it comes to Drake. I know you're not thinking about the music, you're looking at the business aspect of it. I'm looking at the music of it. Kendrick is totally up right now when it comes to this. It's 2-0 right now. It's we're really, I would say it's 2-1 right now when it comes to these disses. You said you heard the new one this morning, correct?
Yeah, I dropped it for. I think I heard it before everybody. Because I think did you hear it when I put it in the Discord?
No, I heard it when I woke up this morning. The first thing I opened my Instagram, it was the blogs. I had 2 blog things. It was a Kendrick thing and the Hogwarts. And that's
I heard it 5 minutes after Kendrick put it on his page. I heard it 5 minutes after that. So if you heard it before that, you probably on pages I ain't
mine
on,
was
you know what I mean?
I heard it like 13 minutes afterwards. So yeah, you got a couple minutes on me on.
Okay.
Yeah. So most definitely, how do you feel about that?
I think the disses are good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I think rapping in every art of the sport, it is in every art of the sport per se. I think it's good, right? I think it's good that they're doing it, because it has been slow. Hip hop's been a little boring. I think one thing people aren't paying attention to, one of the reasons why hip hop is so boring right now is because all the deaths.
Yeah.
Think about, just go back over the last 2 years and think about all the people that have died or gotten murdered per se, and where hip hop would be. I mean, there's no King Von, no Pop Smoke, no Juice World, no Triple X, no. I mean, it's a lot of people that are dead.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. We can go down the line.
Right? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of, I think that's a major part of it, either dead or in jail. So when you looking at it, a lot of the music per se that we would be getting is people either ain't dropping or they're dropping and people just don't want to hear it. But all the hottest guys at the time, are dying or in jail. You know,
Exactly.
Kodak was locked up for a long time. You can go through all the regions. Takeoff, dead. You can go through all the regions. I'm not really familiar with the West Coast, but a lot of these guys are dying. So I think that's where the scene is kind of struggling, because when you map out music and hits, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong on the time frame, but what y'all think is like just random releases, the industry kind of forecasts hip hop or any music industry kind of forecasts itself almost on a 24 to 36 month schedule.
Man,
So what you're hearing in like December was planned a year or 2 ago. You know what I'm saying? Am I going too far? 36 months? Would you say, is it a year maybe now at this point with social media?
No, it actually got shortened. It's not as long anymore. It's actually quicker now.
Okay.
Due to the social media, but they do pre-plan things by quarters. Everybody know the music industry goes by quarters. Usually, your big artist going to hit first quarter. You try to get your summer song. The major artists always hit fourth quarter around Christmas. Your Mariah Carey, your shit like that. Like that's how the industry goes. But yeah, everything is dissected into quarters, and it's like six months now is how they try to range it out and gauge it. 6 months to a year.
In the past, let's see. I want to do it by years. Okay, in the past 3 years, you got Takeoff, PNB Rock, Jay the Youngin, Trouble out of Atlanta. You got Snooty Wild, who's popular, Draco the Ruler, who's popular, Young Dolph, who's popular, Mo 3, King Von, Pop Smoke, Nipsey, Triple X, Bankroll Fresh, Chinks Drugs. Like, these are all people that would still be in the, I guess, quote unquote, algorithm. This is all within the last 3 years, right? So, I mean, look at Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle died when Victory Lap came out. That album is still timeless, but imagine if he was still here. Imagine if King Von was still here, Pop Smoke was still here, Takeoff was still here. So when people say that music is a little down,
it's actually a year. This actually
is based on, if you pull out all of those people, imagine pulling out 13 of the top 40 artists in any industry being shot or dead. So hip hop is killing itself. Not to mention, I'm not even going to talk about the ones that went to jail. So I think when they talk about it's down, so this is exciting. But then when I took a step back, I started paying attention in some of these things when they say 20v1. And then I start looking at why are all these people dissing Drake? Like, I know he's a jerk. I know he sings. I know he got ghostwriters and all of that, but that's been that. And by the way, I looked up some of the biggest records in Kendrick Lamar's catalog. He has writers on there too.
Those are producers and songs.
No, it's on writing credits for Money Trees is 6 other people. On Humble, it's like 5 other people. Right.
People who, never mind.
I'm just saying they under. Listen, I don't know the. I'm just saying under writing credits, the same way they talk about.
Do me a favor though, Brass, too. Also, if you do the writers credits, if you look at my songs, you'll see there's other producers and new co-producers. They got to be put as writers. That's how it works now. Because if you add a progression, if you add certain drums, if there is a co-collab, if you use the beat packet of a producer, which I talked about the other day, they have to get credited on there. That's how
writing. Underwriting.
That's how they categorize it on the DSPs and shit. The main one, they get categorized as a writer because that's how publishing is broken down. Producers get publishing as writers. That's how the publishing is broken down. Even though they didn't physically write something, if they added something, they get added on as a writer. That's how the classification works.
Okay. So if Drake got 5 or 6 guys on the writers, I'm gonna give him the same thing.
That's cool with me.
I'm gonna just say that then if that's the case, because see now we getting into stuff that this is what I mean. This is not my wheelhouse, this is yours. So I will cede to you on that point. But what I also will do is then Drake is not, I'm not gonna hold so fast to that Drake is just, just getting go. The Quentin Miller stuff is egregious. The Lil Yachty stuff is egregious. I agree. But I'm just saying, as far as like co-writing or writing, how they do the right, whatever the credits are.
Gets nullified.
I looked at some of go ahead.
That gets nullified for me, bro. If Drake can have writers, if he is a writer, Drake done wrote some of the dopest songs for other people.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't even hold that against him. What I hold against him, if you're a rapper, then let's get in here and rap and use your shit. If you're using your shit during a battle, then we good. If you're using somebody else's shit during a battle, that's crazy. So
I don't know, because here's my thinking though.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, I understand that Drake is black. I'm not playing the race theories now, but Drake is also Jewish.
I love this shit. I love it.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be. Listen, I don't want to get involved in this Egypt conversations and all of that. So I'm just saying. I think the thing we need to understand is that Drake is also Jewish. Now I'm gonna do a show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do a show on Drake's corporate moves. Because I've been looking at Drake's corporate moves since the what was the name of the record that the last Euphoria. And I'm noticing that a lot of the stuff that Kendrick is saying is kind of coded, right? And I know a lot of the stuff that Future and them is less coded, but a lot of it seems to be stemmed from and around how Drake is making money and how he's moving in the industry. And what it does for me is it explains a lot, because I've had questions about different moves that Drake makes publicly, like certain people he does songs with. There was a time when if you wanted to go platinum, you get Drake on a song. That's like everybody. They did that with Jay-Z. They did it with, Chris Brown. They did it with everybody, all the bigger artists of the time, right? But one of the things with Drake is Drake would he had this excuse that, if I like a record, I'm just going to start pumping the record. And I never forget, he pumped this record, pause. Well, record ain't a human, but whatever, pump is wild. He had a record from a guy named, what is his name? Block Boy? Not, what's that record where it was like nobody really understood why he got on this record? It was a good record in the South, but it wasn't like a great record. And then he turned this record into like something else. The Block Boy.
You know
What's
why he
his
got on
name?
there, right?
What's the record though for the people that's listening?
I'll
It's
pull it
his
up.
name is like Block Boy
I know who you're
JB or
talking about.
something like that.
Yeah, that's Drake Memphis connection. You know he spent summers in Memphis.
No, I know that. And he's always had an excuse
Block
as to
Boy.
why he gets on these records and all these reasons, right? But then when I started hearing that the artists around Drake, the reason why they keep saying that he's fake, he's phony, they don't really trust him, this, that, and the other, is saying that his endorsements aren't just acts of mentorship, but that they're business moves. So they're saying, so basically it's saying that Drake receives money from promoting rising artists. Now that's not nothing new. You know, it is what it is. I think he has a good business acumen. I think you could look at his previous ventures in the music industry. And I kind of think too, this is something that Hits would say, the line between support and investment are a little bit more blurred because of streaming, right? But if he does own a part of this company, if I'm not saying he does, then I think it would explain a lot of the tension that these guys have. I'm just saying if. I'm not saying he does because it can't be proven unless he comes out and says it. And then if he comes out and says it later, then we'll understand. But there's a guy named Larry Jackson, right? It's a guy named Larry Jackson. And this guy used to work for Apple. And he co-founded a company. I guess he left. I guess the story would be he co-founded a company. We could look up Larry Jackson. But matter of fact, I'm gonna get into it. Anybody want to say anything before I get into this? Because I already started writing some stuff down. So y'all, do anybody want to talk before I start talking? Because I'm gonna go for about 5-10 minutes. JB Block Boy, that's the record. Okay, so JB Block Boy. Anybody else want to get in before I start cooking?
Now, do you think I'm interested to hear it now.
When you know, anybody who deals with like youth and or people new into any industry, like me and Logic talked about trucking earlier in the week. There's the lore and maybe, you know, when it comes to art, the artistry and all of that is completely, it's a separate mindset than a business mindset. So it's, you know, it's cool to have arguments about why people do certain things, or was it good, you know, or, you know, was it better uh 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 from the artistry standpoint than the other person's. But on the business side, where businesses are relegated to laws, policies. A lot of things are public, so this information can be found out. These guys ain't running crazy shell corporations all through, you know, Cayman Island bullshit like that. So, you know, if someone wants to find out business dealings, a lot of that information can be looked up. But that's not sexy to a lot of people, you
Right.
know. So,
I
you
agree.
know, you know, I think the mystery, you know, maybe he got his hand in this, or I saw an article that he bought that company. Things are based in legalities a lot of times. So even if someone, say, does have ownership in something, or they participate in something, they're held by standards and rules and regulations also. So owning a business doesn't mean you can do what the hell you want with it. And I'm not saying that's where this is going, but, you know, for our conversations, we always got to add that aspect to it. It's fun to talk about the artistry, and especially for young people, you know,
Yeah,
who
definitely.
are disillusioned by what they see, even with sports. You know, if someone thinks all you can do is dunk, or that looks cool if I get a, some poster shots, you know, where I'm dunking and I'm just, you know, scoring 60 points a game. Well, what's the point of being on a team? And anybody who has their children in sports know that's the shortest part of that engagement. You practice 1,000 times more than you actually play. You know, that's not the sexy part. You know, having these kids run around the track, you know, every day after school, you know, push-ups and drills and all of that. So, you know, or in the weight room. That's not the sexy part.
Right.
So, you know, and because of technology, we can find out a lot more information on how deals are structured, whose names are on what. And just to add to that writer publisher thing and producer, people only get credit when this dude came crazy close to my car. People only get credit when their name is added. There are writers whose names never get added to anything. So just because someone's name is added, whether it's legal, whether it's moral or not, and you can go on YouTube, find all the people that said they didn't get paid for something. Why? Because their name is not listed as a producer or a writer. And they can cry to the end that, oh, I wrote that. I wrote that hook. I was in the studio. I did this. You know, I made that beat. Unless you're listed, they're not obligated to pay you or even recognize you. Now, why
Right.
you may or may not be listed is a whole nother story. Just, you know, bad record deals. Look it up. Look up people who say they never got paid, you know, for what they contributed to a song or project. It's because you don't have to list everybody. I don't have to list Brass. And now Brass finds out I didn't list them. Now we got problems. But when I do my publishing and all of that, and it says writer, I'm a write. I fit, you know, my 25% writer, and whoever made the beat is gonna get his 25%, you know, on producer. But if
Right.
Brass finds out 10 years later, how come I ain't getting no checks? Well, the record didn't sell that good. Then he looks up at the ASCAP or the BMI and he's like, hold on, I'm not even listed. Yeah. So
Right.
just, you know, things like that, you know, it's not automatic that people get listed as writers or producer. Someone has to physically add that to their publishing. Like
Yep.
that's not automatic. You could tell, you know, the label, hey, add this guy. But whoever actually goes out and fills out that documentation, now it's online. You know, if they don't put your name is not listed. They ain't gonna look for you, Brass. They don't know you.
I
Unless I
agree.
put your name down, they're not going to come look for you. So,
Yeah, I agree.
you know, that's the business part of it. You know, yeah, you should. Yeah, you're supposed to. People don't. So the business part is always important. But go ahead. You got it.
So I would say, um, I would say I agree with all of that. You know, I don't have no challenge with that. And I want to be clear to anybody who's listening now or in the future. Um, this is not fact. This is not facts. This is just when I look at. I'm playing internet detective like anybody else. One of the things DQ I'm starting to realize when we on YouTube is when we get up here, it's kind of like Skip Bayless to an extent when I'm talking about things that aren't in my wheelhouse. So I have to offer my opinion more. A lot of times I don't say what I think, I just say what I know, right? And when you say what you know, I'm not going to say that it's not the most entertaining, but that sometimes your opinion on the subject is valid too. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be taken as face value, but it's valid. And I think what's going on, as far as I'm concerned, um, with why do I keep hearing beeping? Do y'all keep hearing that, or is that just me? I keep hearing beeping, like somebody's coming on the panel.
It's
But
just
I keep
I think that was me. I think I got kicked for a minute, so I had to come back. I think that was me.
okay.
You got it.
So I keep feeling like at some point I'm gonna have to start offering my opinion. And then I just have to flesh out my opinion. Like Skip Bayless one time was saying that about LeBron leaving Cleveland, he was having seizures, and even with Draymond and Kevin Durant, the Draymond called Kevin Durant in the parking lot, and all of this stuff got proven later. But when he was saying it, it was more like, what he had heard. So I'm looking at it as an internet detective right now. And I'm looking at why is everybody going at this one person, right? Even though all the people that's going at him are people that, sad to say, I think he helped them more than he hurt them. Like I remember there was a time when like I used to always ask questions, why is Drake making all these records with Rick Ross? And then it was like, all right, maybe that's the Miami connection with Lil Wayne and all of that. But then you look like, why is Future and Drake doing an album? Yeah, they friends, But why are they doing albums together? Now, this is just my little pea brain, you know, in my little uh, nook, thinking, why is he doing a record with Block Boy JB and all the JB Block Boy and all of that? Like, yes, he's from Memphis, so it always had something where you could be like, well, he's from Memphis, or yeah, that's from Miami, or yeah, him and Future make a lot of records and this, that, and the other. But then he did that record with Sexy Red. Now, every fiber of my being said either, and then you started seeing them with Ice Spice and all these weird people to me, from my little nook where I'm from. So I said, he got to be getting something from this, right? He had Ice Spice to his house talking about album. Now, first I'm thinking he's just trying to, you know, money wine and you know what I mean. But now I started thinking like, well, no, he's talking about making music. He's talking about doing this, talking about doing that. So then I started looking at it like this, just from a different kind of theory. That I think somehow he's profiting off of this. Because when I saw him in Sexy Red, at the time, Sexy Red was just kind of like an internet thing, the Pound Town thing. I was just like the internet record. It wasn't that big. But after he did that record on his album with her, she just took off. I know she was on the way kind of from internet fame or whatever, but then she just took off. So then I was trying to figure out, like, why did he do that record? That don't make sense. So on 21 Savage's record with it's Drake and 21 Savage, they got a song called More M's. And Drake says, niggas see my deal, look at they deal, and now they hate the kid. Let me kick it basic. Niggas ain't got love for the boy, so they fake it. So then I started hearing about that deal. So then I started looking into this deal, and they gave him a $400 million check. Now, I went and looked at what a $400 million deal is. A $400 million deal in the music industry is $150 million more dollars than anybody else has gotten in a check, period, as far as one advance. I think in 2009 or so, he got like a $2 million check from Cash Money. But this Universal deal, it's like a 360 deal, but they're giving him $400 million up front. So I've also been trying to figure that out. And I know that Universal is getting into AI. So when he dropped that AI record, I was in Alaska, but when he dropped that AI record with not Michael Jackson, he dropped the AI record with a verse from, I think it was Tupac and somebody else. And he had to end up taking it down. It was Tupac. Who was the other person that's rapped on that record? Y'all help me out. Okay, I'm busy. So
I wouldn't know.
All right, so he dropped the AI record, whatever. So after that, I started looking at DQ's not up. Oh, Hits is not up here. So then I started looking. I kept hearing this name, and I followed Joe Budden just like everybody else. So then I started hearing about this guy named Larry Jackson. Larry Jackson. And I'm like, why is Larry Jackson important in this deal? Then Rick Ross named him. Then Meek Mill named him. And then Metro Boomin named Larry Jackson. So I want to get into a little bit about Larry Jackson. Larry Jackson used to work at Apple Music. He used to be the global creative director of Apple Music. And one of the ways that his kind of fighting style in the music industry is just go get the biggest artists, sign them to you, and then that's how you'll take it over. So you can use them for advertising campaigns, this, that, and the other, right? But he's the one that negotiated the deal that allowed Apple Music the exclusive time frame. I remember Views, Drake's album in 2016. Larry Jackson is the person that got Apple that deal. When Views dropped, there was like a 1 week window where you could only listen to it on Apple Music. And then he got Taylor Swift, right? And then what he did was he kind of changed the royalty policies when they launched the music service Apple Music, whatever. So he's had other ventures, right? He's worked with Billboard, he's worked at RCA, he's worked at Interscope. in the past. So when he worked at Interscope, he was one of the top executives over there. And that's where DQ helped me out. Who's at Interscope? 21 Savage. I think Kendrick is at Interscope. There's a couple other artists at Interscope. Whenever you come back, let me know.
No, I'm here, brother.
So who's at Interscope right now? Because he was one of the heads at Interscope for like a year. But who's at Interscope now? I know it's 21 Savage, Kendrick, and who else?
Let me see.
So look that up for me. So his time at Apple is the one that built his network. So now he has close ties to Kanye, Nicki, Lil Wayne, and Drake. And he's like a radio thing. So he curates and hosts his own shows. He's the one that got Nicki Minaj her Queen radio. He got Virgil his televised radio. He got Kendall Jenner's Zaza World Radio, and he got Lil Wayne's Young Money radio. He's the person behind all of that, right?
I can run it off real quick for you.
Go ahead, real quick.
Interscope record has it's crazy. I gotta say it. Tupac, 42 Doug, 6 Black, Ari Lennox, Boss, The Baby, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Glorilla, J Rock, Juice WRLD. They still got Juice WRLD stuff. Kendrick Lamar, Machine Gun Kelly, Moneybagg Yo, Ray Shrimmer, Playboy Cardi. I think that should be it about the people we care about. Yeah, that's it. Rest of other people. So yeah.
Okay, and Snoop, because Snoop is the person, right? Snoop and the new Death Row, right? So Snoop.
No, that's not on here.
Okay, so Death Row is just his, but Snoop is on Interscope.
No, Snoop's not on Interscope at all.
Okay, Apple's money and Snoop Dogg's songs are the one that's backing this company called Gamma. It's a $1 billion company off the rip. It's a startup. It's a music startup, and the head of it is Larry Jackson. So this happened in 2023. So the co-founders of this company are former Interscope CFO Ike Youssef, and Gamma's co-founder is also Larry Jackson. So like, now pay attention to this. This is the thought process behind the company. It's called a modern media and technology enterprise designed to revolutionize how artists, entrepreneurs create, distribute, and monetize their content. The company receives backing from larger entities like Eldridge Industries, A24, and even Apple. So they have influential creators. They got Usher, Rick Ross, Snoop Dogg, French Montana, and they claim to oversee 10,000 releases monthly through its distribution platform, Vidya. Gamma, not Interscope, also has stake in the Death Row Records catalog. So that's how Snoop pulled off this. They don't, this is the behind the scenes stuff people don't know. Now, here's where the theory comes in. Drake and Larry Jackson are very close in the music industry. You know what this reminds me of, DQ? Jay-Z and Lyor Cohen back in the day. When everybody was going crazy because Jay-Z's relationship with Lyor Cohen after Rockefeller broke up, or as it was breaking up, right? So they had a collaboration at Apple Music. Like I said, Larry Jackson is one of the key figures that got views to be streamed on Apple before every other streaming service.
Just before they stopped that shit.
Yeah, they stopped it. Yeah, because Taylor Swift started complaining because the royalties didn't make sense. So he also helped Drake get Drake's OVO Sound Radio. So he's referenced him in lyrics on Family Feud. He allegedly motivated Jackson to start Gamma. So it's not far-fetched that this relationship sparked a desire for deeper involvement. So this is why and here's the thing, I pay attention to Joe Budden. One, because every time I think he's capping, he's not. Even on the stuff that he talks about, he tends to go crazy. So I think they're not mad at the rapper Drake, because they all ghostwrite to an extent. and they might be mad at certain things, but I think they're mad at, this is my theory, I think they're mad at the corporate Drake. I think they're upset about how he's moving in regards to that deal, because I think he gets a lot of money from promoting these artists, right? So like I said before, the lines between support and investment are very blurred. So if he does own a part of Gamma, that would explain a lot of the tension. So on these diss tracks now, when you listen to them, Rick Ross on Champagne Moments says Drake sent a cease and desist letter to French Montana due to an issue with a song called Splash Brothers. The track was initially supposed to feature Drake and Ross, but his verse was scrapped from French Montana's album and replaced with Lil Wayne. So that's the first time you hear cease and desist letter. Then you hear Kendrick say on one of these diss records that Drake also sent a cease and desist letter in regards to Like That. When he starts saying all that Crody stuff, when he says whatever, y'all can break down the lyrics of the Crody verse. I don't want to go too long. I feel like I'm going too long now. Now, there's no concrete evidence, whatever, but Larry Jackson disclosed that Drake did send the cease and desist. He thought it was a joke, but it did actually happen. Now, on this Gamma record label is Sexy Red. So my theory is this, and I'm gonna speak plainly. My theory is this: is that Drake right now is making money off of the music industry and using the industry, right? Because like even in the threats that he made with Kendrick with the drop and give me 50, and how he was talking about how I know more about your deal at Interscope than you, how all these other guys are bigger than you at Interscope. I think that they look at him as an insider because he actually is. Now, I'm not, I can't prove this. This is just a theory. This is just my thought. Y'all can present alternate theories or just present what you know. But I'm on here, we're critiquing and we're giving our opinions. So this is my opinion. I think what's frustrating these guys the most is that no matter what they do, that $400 million deals will bring out a lot of haters. Somebody cut a $400 million check. And then on top of that, with the you're coming to us to get street cred with Future and all of that. And I think some of it is with women. I get all of that, whatever. But part of this got to do with the fact that when they drop music, I think that he's kind of trying to play. And this is where I agree with Hits, because some of this stuff is legal and you can't get away with all of the stuff that I'm saying that he's doing. But I think that what Drake is doing is kind of playing puppet. Because now they're saying that he won't clear, that Kendrick has also alluded to the fact that he's not clearing samples. Like certain samples that he don't want, like certain songs that he don't want heard, that Drake is having some say in clearing samples for other people's records. And then here's my last point. AI is going to be a big part of the music industry. And I think Hits, maybe we should do a show on that soon about the technology in the music industry. And I know that Universal is trying to flesh out how to monetize AI, how to creatively distribute. And I know Gamma is, because part of their roster, they bought deceased rappers. They bought some of that stuff too. And I know with 50 Cent and the Pop Smoke album and all of that, they used some AI to fill in some of the, some of the, not AI records, but just to fill in holes and this, that, and the other as far as voice goes. That they're trying to monetize the AI of it, which is kind of poignant because how you just keep seeing all these coincidences? Drake using Tupac and all these people, who I think also was on Interscope. If I could be wrong, I might be wrong about that, but I think that I think they look at Drake as a corporate guy and not a rapper, and that he's not sitting up here, you're not one of us per se. And they keep saying it. And they keep fleshing it behind girls and this, that, and the other. But if you look at the veiled comments, right, I think they kind of look at him as like, bro, you're actually trying to pimp us out. You're pimping us out. Like every time we drop, you're getting benefits from this. And then now you're taking artists and breaking them like you're a corporate guy, but you claim to be one of us per se. That's my
It's,
theory. And if that's
it's
the case,
business as
hold on.
usual.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. And I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna land my plane.
BAU.
If that is the case, I don't care what Kendrick Lamar says. I don't care if he drops 2 ethers, 1 no Vaseline, and a takeover. I don't care what he does. Drake has won. If that's the case, if this is true, it doesn't matter to me what any of them do because I respect the business, I respect the power move, I respect the money, and that's where I'm going with it. Now have at it, chop it up, and kill me. I went for about 10 minutes. Go ahead.
All of that to say, all of that to say, business as usual. Huh? That's what everything you said is business. It doesn't matter if it's record business, sneaker business, apparel business, automobile. It doesn't matter. It's business. Basically, you said a company invested in a person, or Drake is basically an investment. They invested in him, and why wouldn't he pimp out other people? That's what the record industry does. That's what it's always done. To just use your word or their word, pimp out. Yeah. And who's to be mad because the people with the money showed up and said, who we going to invest in? You or you. We're going to pick you. If you were the other people who didn't get picked, of course you would.
I agree.
And if your only outlet is because it's not on his level of business, you didn't get chosen, is to, continue with your current line of business, which is make music and invest in your own lane, obviously. Why wouldn't you? And to say he won, if you ride down the street and you hear Kendrick's song playing in someone's car and you stop them and said, hey, whose song do you like better? And they say Kendrick, that's one perspective, not an individual perspective, but that's one side of the perspective. Oh, I think Kendrick won. The business side you're saying is, oh, it doesn't matter what they do because if he owns some of this stuff or he's behind the scenes, he's going to win financially. But that's not the whole picture. And that's that's not the sexy part. It may be for some people who, envy that shit. But for most people who are just listening to the music, they don't consider that. They don't consider why you see people more than other people. You said a little while ago, hip hop was boring. If it was boring, it's because they all sounded the same. The people who got pushed to the front sounded the same. The interesting shit you had to go dig for. It's not on the top 10. It's not on the top 50. It's not in the top 100. On YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, it's no iTunes. It's not there. It's not there, but it is there. But people like being in the in crowd. That's how industry works. That's how we as humans work. Everybody's listening to Drake. And a lot of music DJs play. They don't like that music, but it's their job.
Right.
It's their job. Doctors who prescribe certain medications. People don't realize pharmaceutical companies have salespeople that go to these doctors' offices, into these pharmacies, and sell them this product. All of this shit ain't above board and moral. They're salespeople. They give doctors tickets to games, tickets to, for trips, just to, buy their medication in bulk or their brand. I used to work in pharmaceuticals. They have salespeople too. It's business. That's when you find that out, and then the doctors don't have a choice. What is he going to go make his own high blood pressure medicine? No, he has a slew of companies to deal with. Period. He can't go make his own. So that's this. It sounds like business as usual, especially, record business as usual. We don't realize the number one song probably not there because it's the best song. it ends up being the best song because it was there. But that's not the sexy part. People want to enjoy music, and they know that. They know that. And if Sexy Red is top trending, they all should be trying to make a song with her. That's good for business. You know, whoever's the next. I don't know all their names. I'm too old. These young artists' names, but any of them who are trending,
Yo,
regardless of their
stop making
content.
yourself so old, bro.
I am, because I don't know. No, and that's
You
why I
ain't
don't.
that
That's
old.
why I don't engage. You know, I am. Like, okay, put it like this. I've been not actively, but I've DJ'd since I was about 14 years old. Easily played music, bought music, played it for myself, played it for other people since I was 14. I'm 54. That's a long time. So
Right,
when I
right,
say
right, right.
old, it's old in trying to absorb all of this, uh, uh, new music constantly, and enjoy the music you've always enjoyed, and watch how the industry changes, and just, I don't have grandkids yet, but I see the difference in my era and my younger sister's era, my kids' era. But it's all repetitive. It's the same. Jay-Z was an investment. Um, Irv Gotti and those guys, those are all investments. Dame Dash was an investment. Whether they want to, if a big distribution company like Def Jam or Columbia wants to work with you, you're an investment.
Hey, thank you.
You don't get let in the door to out to outperform them. They let you in the door. Well, how do we create our own door? It's always going to go back to that distribution. Who controls the means of distribution? Even streaming, even with the internet, you would think they can't make me like something. I have the whole internet to go find what I like. Yeah, you do, but do you? Do you go find what you like? Nope. Or do you listen to the same top 50 that they're listening to all over the world? You listen to the same top 50. You're not going to take that time to go find, things more interesting and new. It's readily available. It's everywhere. It's made sexier than something you may actually like. So it's we still have to understand the forces that are at play behind the scenes. It's business.
So what I'm
It's business.
asking is, do y'all understand where I'm coming from?
I think those are two different things. I think you're saying they're throwing rocks at his
Just
limo
no,
as
no.
he's
Just
pulling
do
off
you
the block.
understand where I'm coming from? Yeah.
Listen,
Just do
listen,
you
listen.
understand?
Listen, it sounds like you say they're throwing rocks at his limo when he's pulling off the
That's what
block.
I'm hearing too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, like, okay, they pulled up on the block and go, hey, we, not just gambling. Hey, we've been watching you. We're gonna invest in you. You come on with us. And everybody, not now, when I say everybody, I mean other artists, not necessarily the consumer. All the other artists on the block may go, just like Jay-Z. Oh shit, he gone. Of course you're gonna hate. And then he comes back. Now he's the one grabbing someone off the corner. It's not Leo or Cohen no more. It's Jay-Z coming back. Going, okay, you come on. You be like, hold on, they just came and got you. Now you coming to get me? Look at Eminem's deal or something like that. How many people used to have to get paid before he got paid? Simple shit like that people don't understand. Or he signed to 50. Yeah, 50 signed to Dre. Dre's on Interscope. It's like four people. Not
Yeah, but
people, four
nobody. Hold on.
entities. I'm sorry. I'm
But
sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Four
right. But
entities.
nobody. Yeah. But nobody. Yeah, I was about to say because them ain't people. But the
Yeah,
second
no,
thing
no.
is,
Drake ain't even people.
no, because see,
He's
here's
not
the
people no
thing
more.
though. Nobody has ever been. Nobody has ever been. Universal is like, and me and DQ, you would have to agree. Universal is like the final boss in music right now. It's damn near like, I mean, like they are the ones kind of spearheading all this AI stuff. And then when I hear lyrics, because like I said, I pay attention when DQ talks. So I go back and listen to lyrics, and I just hit a search for like Gamma and Larry Jackson and this, that, and the other. So then you get these lyrics that says, somebody get Larry Jackson on the phone. I need some ownership if we press and go. Then you got a bar on the leaked version of that same record they pulled Rick Ross off of and put Lil Wayne on, and it says somebody get Larry Jackson. No, it says Lucian, and look up Lucian on your own time. Lucian and me are like Kobe and Shaquille. This is Drake. Lucian and me are like Kobe and Shaquille. That's the reason going independent never had any appeal, right? So when you hear stuff like that, it's like, all right, you listen, these are like little breadcrumbs and this, that, and the other. But then you got even the support of Drake with 4 Bats. And then how Rolling Stone is tied to Universal. And Rolling Stone somehow, out of all the music, Drake, DQ's music, the whole world's music, they gave Sexy Red the #1 song and artist of the year. So I agree with you that this is all business stuff, and I get all of that kind of stuff. I get that it's business, but I think what the problem is that I don't think no artist that I can think of has ever reached allegedly these heights in music. Even when Jay-Z was president of Def Jam, which was crazy at the time, even I thought it was crazy. But even when Jay-Z was the head of Def Jam, he wasn't necessarily getting royalties or paper from when artists dropped. They might have thought that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that he was getting that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he was getting that. But hold on, DQ. I'm gonna let I've been talking for a while. DQ. So what say you? No. I'm saying we was in the initial back and forth. Now that I've kind of fleshed it out, and I'm not done. I can go even further, but it'll take too long. So do you at least understand where I'm coming from? I can't be right or wrong because nobody really knows. But do you see the angle that I'm coming from? You said you're trying to see what angle I was coming from.
No, once you started talking, I understood your angle. I heard your angle, and that was in my repository before. That's all already in there. Like I say, I heard that shit when it dropped. I get a Patreon before it hit YouTube, before it hit Spotify. I get Patreon, so I heard that
right.
before. And like I said, Joe had to walk that shit back once the next episode. He was like, I didn't know this was this was this, but the shit was interesting. And I was like, all right, bet. Good. But I totally understand that point. I don't like Hit said that shit will be out in the open legally, like if he did own some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that's hidden behind the scenes. We can actually find it. But
is it legal? Is that legal?
Is what legal?
For him to, if he does have that relationship with Gamma, is it legal? I don't think it's illegal for him to do it, though, is it?
You got to explain what you're accusing him of, or what they're accusing.
I'm not accusing him.
Not you. Like, what's the accusation? Is that you're saying? What part would
not accusing him? What's the accusation?
He owns part of Gamma.
Well, no, not you, but the whoever you're saying. They're saying, that he's doing this behind the scenes or something.
I think that Drake is a rapper, right? But I also think that there's a rapping Drake and there's a corporate Drake. And I don't think they have so much of an issue with the rapping Drake. I think the issue that they have is with the corporate Drake, with the cease and desist letters, with the they calling up to Universal, and now all of a sudden they can't really get, because if you look at Universal, it's like a huge company in the industry, right? You're talking about 10,000 placements, 10,000, whatever it is, that number that they do monthly. That when he signed that deal, 400 million, when you pay attention to that number, Michael Jackson's was 250. Drake's is 150 more than that, a check.
But you got to make up for inflation and time frame. There's calculators online where you can count the value of something now. It's still a lot. But hold on, it's still a lot. But
let me tell you what my accusation is.
Good.
My accusation is this: is that when they drop, it actually benefits him. I don't know how. I think it benefits him when all of them drop. When Rick Ross, Future, I would even say Rihanna and ASAP, all the people that's dissing him, I think he has some form of control over and benefits from when they make music. And I think that Universal has something to do with it. I think Apple Music has something to do with it. I think this company Gamma has something to do with it. And I think that these rappers who are more on the inside than we do, I think that they know it. They know that you're not one of us. And they keep saying these cardinal sentences that are ringing kind of weird if this is true, that he's benefiting from all of this. So in my theory is it doesn't matter what they drop, the end game is they lose. And it's kind of like my theory with Nas and Jay. When Ether was wild and crazy, but I would much rather be Jay-Z than Nas. I'm just saying. The Live Nation deal, the Rock Nation deal, the all of these things that
But again, that's a make see, and that's like saying anybody can be that. You can't.
I agree.
You can't. Everybody can't be that. So to say, okay, Nas could no, those are two different arguments. Two different arguments.
Yeah, I agree.
So again, we going back to the street corner, and that's not the business part of this. So you can't. That's like saying, okay, Drake lost the rap battle, but he won the money battle. Like which battle are we talking about? Like let's pick one. Did he win or lose the rap battle, or did he win or lose the money battle? Those are not the same thing.
But
hold on.
Go ahead.
And also compare rap music to say country music.
Yeah.
Like just because our genre of music likes to air all type of information as a part of their rap, whether it's battle rap, beefing, telling the truth from the hood, exposing their record deal or their label, that's all built into rap music. That's not built into other genres of music. Or if it is, it's not so publicly disputed, talked about. And I'm sure you can read magazine articles or blogs about it, maybe in country or jazz or something like that, or it's just not that prevalent in there. Because that industry, that genre is not set up like that. Rap is about that. So just because they're saying, I don't think that makes it any different than any other investment. Universal makes, Interscope makes, Def Jam makes, CBS, Viacom. They're all investing in opportunities to either grow their brand, obviously to make money for if they're corporations, they're making money for their shareholders. That's different than rap battling, or beef. People pulling up, and shooting each other down. That's way different. And I know I'm not saying you don't know that.
Yeah, you talking
but those
about
are two. Yeah. But those are two different arguments. Yeah, Kendrick won the rap battle, but he lost the big battle. No shit. Everybody can't be number one, in money. Somebody got more money than somebody else. And that's going to change over time. Drake ain't going the next one that comes along. $600 million deal. But who's behind the scenes? That's the interesting thing. All them people you mentioned, all industry people. Well, he used to work at Interscope. Now he was at iTunes.
Yeah, this
now
guy
he has his own company. That's all network people.
I never heard of him before.
And that's probably how most of them want it. If I was behind, they're behind the scenes for a minute. I mean, for a reason.
Ain't nobody
because they ain't rappers. That's where the money at.
Right.
Well, I can't see the chat. I'm in my car, but yeah, that's where the money.
I didn't think nobody was watching the show. It's mad coming. But
no. I think from.
I don't separate.
If I had to teach somebody, if I had to start over, I would have been way more interested in the business of music. I probably would have ran. I'm not dealing with all that. But that's any company. You just don't walk in the front door and then walk all the way up to this. These CEOs go to other companies and become CEO. They go from company to company. You know, when the company has a bad spell or the CEO got fired, oh, he gonna be all right. He gonna be all right. He gonna be off the radar for a little while, and then he gonna be a CEO of another multi-billion-dollar company or start his own. It's a lot of that stuff is industry, but because people don't know industry or care about business, which is fine.
I
This shit
respect
is
the
boring,
power. Hold on.
you
I
know, to
respect
some
the
people.
power, and I don't care what the disses are. If I knew for a fact, if I knew, let's say, if I knew, you know how you could feel something, pause, DQ, that, yeah, that was wild.
That
The
was crazy.
like, if you feel like, per se, you in the industry and you kind of know, this is gonna hit home too. Say like if you're in like a group and you kind of know, but it ain't proven. If they truly felt like that, right? And this is why I say I think you can win based on business moves in any battle. Because if it's a rap battle, like for example, if I think Cube won, I think Cube won the initial battle as far as hip hop goes. I think Cube won when No Vaseline against NWA, but I think Dr. Dre eventually won the whole thing with no distance at all. That's what I'm saying. Like I look at it like what happened after.
But
If you
okay,
just
hold on, check this out. Me, you,
yeah,
and DQ start a singing group. Me, you, and DQ,
I don't
right?
sing.
Don't worry about it. We started a singing group, right?
You got the face,
But
Brad. You got the
don't
face,
worry,
man.
don't worry. We got all type
But
of
wait, hold
technology,
on. Hold on.
and
See,
we
this
got
is what
auto
happens.
tune.
Nah, it's hold
We
on.
got auto
Let me
tune.
say DQ because then see, y'all make these comments publicly, right? This is why I like to this is why I get my stances out on you two slick niggas exactly. Cause y'all say stuff and then it becomes that's why I say I don't sing. Because then it'd be like, hey Brad, you used to sing, you got the face for it. See kind of shit like that. See, I ain't falling for y'all two. So for the
No,
record,
no, hold on.
I don't sing, nigga. Just so
Listen.
y'all know. Yeah,
Me,
you
you, and
too good,
DQ
man.
start a
Let's
singing
start
group,
over.
right?
Yeah.
Listen, DQ is the lead singer. Me and you in the back doing the harmonies, the little temptation
Yeah, so
shuffle,
now I'm a
all of
background
that.
singer. You just
Yeah,
disappeared.
that's what. No, me and you both, right? We know at some point, pretty much, there's a good chance the label or a label is going to call DQ up and be like, we know this after all of the years of just industry shit, just general knowledge. We know at some point they're going to hit up DQ and go, hey, if you go solo, now DQ has a choice to make, right? And now his choice is going to be based on what he knows. Okay, if I don't go solo, that singing group next to us, they're going to go to his lead singer and he's going to go solo. He's going to be number one on the charts. They're setting him up for success. They already got it mapped out. DQ has a choice to make. We all got it. And not to say he won't, come back and tell us, say, hey, they offer me this. I'll bring you on tour, but blah, 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 blah. But this is what this is set up to be. And that's with the knowledge. That's not, he come running in the dressing room. Guess what? Oh, we already know. Ain't no guess what. We knew that going into this. There's a good chance they're gonna want DQ to go solo after like the third album. If our group is doing that good, that's common. So it should be the same thing. With the whole Jay-Z, Def Jam, Rockefeller stuff. Dame Dash aired out the whole thing verbally, in writing, and in video. He aired the whole thing out between him and Def Jam. The only part he kept leaving out was the he'll say distribution deal, but he never narrowed that down so what people understand what that means. Without these companies, certain companies, your stuff back then, physical copies of your music could not make it in every record store across the country, halfway around the world. Period. I don't care who you were, how good you were, blah, 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 blah. Well, we signed a 50-50 deal. We signed a 60-40 deal. We signed a distribution deal. Explain that to the people. Or if people are interested, go look it up what it actually means.
But here's my
360
question.
deals, So, but that's just to
You-
say a lot of this stuff is common, but because our little group wanted to be on the charts so bad, and we wanted to be a singing group so bad, and all the women, screaming for that's what we wanted. So we said to hell with all that. Yeah, let's go. So we can't be
DQ,
mad when they come get DQ. We can't. We can't.
DQ. Hold on. DQ is the lead singer. But now DQ, let's say that happened, right? And they
Mhm.
pulled you off after 3 hours, and Logic, you can get in there too, bro. But when
Logic is
DQ,
on the drums.
yeah, like
The band
Logic,
don't count. The band don't count.
Logic fixed the mic stand. The when DQ drops, right? Let's say they separate him for after the third album, and then we all break up, don't really do no music or whatever. We doing whatever. Yeah, that's what y'all think. And then after DQ has a great career, 5 albums, considered this, that, and the third, blah, 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 and he retires, right? And one day he gets a royalty statement. And on that royalty statement, it says B and H, BH and L distribution on one of his checks. And he just Googles BH and L distribution.
I love Brandon.
And he finds out. Yeah, see, now you're gonna see where I'm going. This is
I love Brandon.
with the battle.
Funny.
It might take time. And he Googles BH&L distribution. And BH&L distribution is Brass Hits and Logic's distribution. And he does a little
But
bit more
is it
digging.
wrong or
Now, let
illegal?
me finish. Let me
But is it
finish.
wrong?
Let me finish. That is BH&L distribution. And not only that, when he finally calls and says, "Hey man, what the hell is this BH&L distribution?" and he gets lawyers, and he finds out that he made $200 million in his career, but that when we knew, because like you said, we already knew what was going to happen. He finds out that we own the DQ name, that he made $200 million in his career as an artist. We made $7 billion. He is not gonna say that he won in whatever. And let's say we had a disagreement. He's not gonna say that he won. That's my only point. Listen, I know. Listen, I'm not talking about the purity. Y'all trying to say who's winning from lyrics and this, that, and the other. That's not really something you can quantify unless it's clear, right? So right now, DQ Kendrick is definitely up 2-0. Definitely, no question. As far as lyrics, even in the court of public opinion, he's up 2-0. But if you found that out, now stay on that original hypothesis. If you found that out that we made $5 billion off your damn career and you didn't know it, what's up, Marcus? Matter of fact, I'm a little disappointed in you, Marcus.
Peace,
But
Mark.
we'll talk later. How would you feel? Like, say it was beef, though. Not like I'm just proud another black man did it. Let's just say it was actual beef. How would you feel finding that out 10, 15 years later? DQ.
How would I feel?
If we made $5 billion, and let's say you made $200 million, but you found out in a royalty check finally that Me, Hits, and Logic made $5 billion off your career, and you made $200 million.
Man, I wasn't on top of my game, dog.
See?
But,
And that would hurt,
but
bro.
no. That's not
How you gonna tell
equivalent.
DQ how he should feel?
No. I'm not saying no to DQ.
That was
then
set
let
up.
me-
It was a setup question. There's no way I can get out of it. Like, that's what
No, I'm not saying no to DQ, but
That ain't no lie.
hold on. You're leaving out the caveat that DQ came to the group and said, "Look, they want me to go solo," and we had that conversation. You're leaving out the part where me, you, and Logic sit down and go, "You know what would be a good investment if we get our own distribution company network, this or that." And guess which one is for sale? Cheap or reasonable. The one DQ just signed to. The one, we didn't get, our contract didn't carry over. And we didn't tell DQ.
No, but you missed my
right?
point. No. I'm saying if we had it while we was no. I'm not saying if
So
we bought
some
it
got to come
after
first.
he. No. I'm
Pause.
not saying if he. Yeah, pause. Damn,
I
super
did
pause.
good. Look at that.
I'm
I
not
did
saying
good.
if he got it after. Yeah, I'm not saying if he got it after. I'm saying if while we were artists,
Yes.
like in the same group, we had the distribution deal, and we trademarked his name per se. So we ended up making more money off, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is like right now, let's say Drake didn't drop another record, but the next thing that he put out was that let's say that take this and say it was true. Would you still say that Kendrick is winning DQ? If we found out that Kendrick made 5 million off these records that he dropped and Drake made
if I'm going off this false premise that Drake is the owner
false.
of
I
the
agree.
music
False
industry, then I guess well, no, I'm gonna say no, because Kendrick has the Prince approach. He doesn't give a fuck about the industry.
I'm saying from your perspective,
Drake has the Mike approach. He works with
allegedly.
Allegedly.
So yeah, I'm saying no. Kendrick don't give a rat's about that shit.
I don't agree with that too.
But hold on, Brass. But hold on.
You done moved the conversation so far past.
There you go,
far past the lyrics or the art of what we talking about.
That's what I was on.
You done basically painted it to where Drake is gonna win no matter what Kendrick says, no matter how crucial his disses are, or, like none of that. It ain't even the beats no more, yo. Like it's just like now you done took the rap battle into a bank account battle, basically. Like,
well, I think
straight
listen,
up,
if
they
you don't want to
playing
make
big
money,
bank, little bank in your scenario.
Exactly, because if you don't want to make money in the industry, then you should go in your basement, record all your songs, and play them for your guinea pigs and your dogs and your pets. But if you are in something where you're trying to make money, then don't say that you're really not trying to make money. I agree with what you say about Kendrick and Prince, like how Kendrick is taking the Prince approach. But I don't think he's taking the Prince approach because he wants to. My theory is I think he's taking the Prince approach because he has to. I don't think he doesn't have the ability to do the Michael Jackson route. That's just what I'm saying. Go ahead, flesh that out.
No, just not at all. Kendrick didn't want to be the industry darling. He could have been there. He didn't want to be that shit. So he chose his rap. So I definitely can understand the viewpoint. Drake wants to be the industry darling. Always wanted to be. So he got what he wanted. He wanted to be the good kid in class. He was the one, no tattoos, wasn't cussing as much when he first came in on the couch with Queen Latifah.
Well, he's Jewish.
You can add that. I guess Jewish is a race. You just like them Egyptians.
No, I ain't doing the race thing. I'm saying,
I'm going to the store. I will be listening.
No. Yeah. I ain't trying to get us banned. I don't mean it like that. I'm saying, I think because they. I'm not the only one because it's funny. They keep bringing up his color. And matter of fact, even with Pusha T, I want to say he's the first one that did it when he had Drake in blackface, I think.
No, Drake did that. He did that in high school. He wore that. That's a real image.
That's a real thing?
That's a real image of Drake when he was at his acting school. That's why I'm saying Pusha don't play. He finds real shit.
Whoa.
That's a real image.
Whoa. That image of Drake.
That's a real image.
He actually did that?
Yes. Your boy.
Hey, source up.
All right. I got you, brother.
Source up real quick.
I got you, brother.
Because you know what else I saw too? Since all of this has been coming out.
You thought that was AI?
Yes, no, not AI. I thought it was just an album cover. But I also saw that Lil Wayne, they did an interview about Lil Wayne when Drake first dropped. And when Drake first dropped, he Lil Wayne gave him this advice. And it's kind of stunning that he gave him this advice, but he told him, he said, I don't want you, Oh,
He said, "Don't
he
get that
said,
too."
I don't want you rapping about guns. I don't want you rapping about
Bigger, brother.
the stuff that I rap about. Make it a big screen if you can. Read a little bit on that. What was the reasoning behind it? What did he say?
Drake appeared in blackface in a photo shoot for his Canadian fashion label Two Black Guys. The photo taken by David Leaves were for a line released that year, Jim Crow Couture. Jim Crow Couture, which was meant to form of artistic criticism of Jim Crow era of American history. This is why wow, God, that Kendrick Euphoria line so dope. The nigga saying y'all trying to mimic American culture.
Wait, flesh that out. So that's a what? A clothing line.
All right, I'm gonna say this again.
Okay, go ahead.
In 2008, Drake appeared in blackface in a photo shoot for the Canadian fashion label Two Black Guys. The photos taken by David Leaves were for a line released that year called Jim Crow Couture. I don't even like saying that. Which was meant to be a form of artistic criticism on the Jim Crow era of American history. It's a real photo taken in 2008. Your boy.
That's crazy.
Your boy.
Okay, so then, okay.
You know what? That's
right,
gonna be my new Abby. Let me say this.
So let me just say this. Fuck Drake. I want to be clear. Put me on the.
I got you, man. Hold on.
I can't believe that he'll let any nigga convince you to do some shit like that. I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on one second.
There is no excuse ever to pull to some shit like that.
So give me 30. Give me.
You got it.
Okay.
I'm getting off. You got it, baby.
Drake. Fuck this battle. Fuck anything that these niggas is talking about. Kendrick Lamar won this battle. Because if you think for a half of a second I would ever support someone who wore blackface for a clothing line called Jim Crow Couture, I will never listen to another Drake record in my life. Lil Wayne said when he came out, I don't want him rapping about guns and women and all this and the other. Just rap about your little Canadian stuff. That said enough. The second part was, I've heard him clown Canadian slang, the same slang that he uses. Mm-hmm. And now that I know that he dressed up in blackface to advertise a clothing line called Jim Crow Couture,
that's crazy.
Fuck every owl that flies.
That's crazy, yo.
OVO.
He said, watch the language.
Anything connected to Drake, I hope falls apart. I don't wish no success on that man. Kendrick, whatever you need, I will help you out. I declare Kendrick Lamar the winner in this battle. I'm done. You will never hear me. Fuck Gamma, Larry Jackson, Universal, all these people. I don't care nothing about none of that. I had no idea. I had no idea. So it's nothing else to talk about. I fall back. I land my plane. I fall back. That is unbelievable, bro. That is unbelievable.
That's suicide.
How can he still have a career in the music business?
Hey, that's why they say that. What is it with you, bro? That's why they using that approach. Rick Ross wasn't just using that trying to say he a white boy. Kendrick not just trying to say, bro, you don't have no real integrity or morals. You ain't raising your kid. You ain't none of that. Like, I heard what you saying with the financial part, bro, but they say this man is scum. The people close to him say he is some scum, bro. So yeah, it's that yeah. But that's why
how do y'all still listen to his music after that?
Because Pusha, I love how Pusha handled it. I love how Pusha handled. I like what Kendrick say. Keep making the songs to make me dance and wave my hand, and we'll be good. When you try to step into this other realm and try to claim some stuff that you're not, when past events have shown where you stand, you can't do that. I'm telling you, like I say, I'm a fan of when I hear the good music, I can be like, that's dope. Oh, that's dope. I like how you use that. Whoop whoop. But I know.
This man done coup de grace himself, yo. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. Actually, I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't, because see, and this is a perfect example of what Hits was talking about, where we don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was. I don't support anybody that's ever worn blackface. Anyone for any reason. Pull that article back up for a second.
Push a gangster for using this.
That is wild, bro.
Album cover. Yep.
How didn't nobody notice before Pusha T said it?
Because, like you say, he's the darling, bro. He was the darling of the industry.
Hold on, wait. Go back down. This photo is from 2008 and taken for a fashion photo shoot. Photo shoot. The Black Guys. Jim Crow Couture, artistic criticism of the Jim. And you know what's sad? In Canada, oh man, I'm not gonna say something I don't know. I wonder what the effect of Jim Crow was on Canada.
What's the face speaks about that. That's another thing I like about the Joe Budden podcast. If a lot of people don't know Melissa Ford, a lot of people know Melissa Ford from videos. She was one of the top video vixens, turned movie star, turned podcaster, blend of both. But she is also Canadian, so she gives a very good perspective on how she viewed American culture, how she got embraced by a certain aspect of American culture through our hip hop music and all that. But she has some good intel on it.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say about Drake, bro. I have nothing else because the thing is, I can't as a black man in the United States, as a father, I can't do that.
That's why I'm
thank you, and I appreciate that education, DQ. I appreciate that. See, now I understand where you're coming from, knowing that this whole time. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was just a creative, because I thought it was wild. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was wild. Yeah, I can't even listen to his music no more.
What's the space digs deep? That's why I did pause. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Pusha T is a psychopath. So when he chose to beef with him, he didn't understand Pusha comes from the old cloth. Like the old cloth of rappers who really get busy. You know what I'm saying? So Pusha didn't care about crossing that boundary. Oh, you talking stuff? Boom, I'm gonna show you did this. Oh, you still talking? Boom, I'm gonna show you got a kid. Oh, you still talking? I'm about to ruin your whole Adidas deal. Like, oh, you still talking? I'm gonna talk about your producer about to die. Like, Pusha is a psychopath. Certain people you just don't want to beef with. And yeah,
I think it says a lot about black people, though. I think that says a lot about our society, us, and that kind of goes to what Logic says. Like, y'all could talk all this unity and marching and all this, that, and the other, and Egypt and all of that, but I can honestly say, for people that knew that, I didn't know that. The fact that he has become the biggest artist in hip hop the past 10, 15 years, and we know that this man did blackface for a clothing line called Jim Crow Couture. That says a lot about us, bro.
Watch Kendrick.
The name should have said no before you even thought about going over there. Called what? Jim Crow. Oh,
Kendrick. If Kendrick mentions this in his next diss, just you know how cryptic he is. He just may use Jim Crow and Couture in different bars. But
I don't give a damn. You ain't cleaning no shit like that up, bro.
No, I'm
but
saying
he did. Wait, what? He already
Kendrick,
did.
I'm saying if Kendrick used this, not Drake. Drake out of there.
Oh, okay.
In the diss.
I'm thinking you saying Drake gonna clean it up some kind of way.
Logic, he already got out of it. What are you talking
he
about?
got out of this. He wiggled out of this one already.
Bro, he's still one of the, if not the biggest hip hop artists right now today.
This was the Pusha T beef. Like this is He went past.
This is what 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah, shit deep. So that's why I'm like, nigga, he is that chosen. He's the chosen goose egg for the industry. I understand that, but it's a reason why you got chose for that, boy. So it's all gravy train. But back on this battle shit, like putting words to sounds and making it work, he got a problem dealing with Kung Fu Kenny right now.
I think I say, you know, it's funny how everybody's coming out now saying they understand where J. Cole's coming from. I said I knew where J. Cole's coming from the day he did it.
You were the first one. You were the first one.
And that's the day he did it. I said, you don't know why? Because I also, and there's one thing I said then is coming back even more true. If they are friends, right? If this is all like supposed to be like a friendly thing, what Drake is doing, what dude is doing is, do you really want to get into a battle that never ends?
Yeah.
Do you want to get into a battle with somebody that won't stop? It's kind of like the 50 Cent choice back in the day. Do you want to get into a battle with somebody that is just never gonna stop?
Never.
Like your whole career, your whole career. There were points of time where Ja Rule's whole career was just basically around, we don't want to hear none of your new music. What you got to say to this 50 Cent diss?
Facts.
So now Kid Cole is kind of like, no. I can say it on a couple records every now and then. I can mention it a couple times, but other than that, I can understand where Cole's coming from. I'm not battling Kendrick because he's never going to stop. Like now, like even if you wanted to be in your creative process, even if you wanted to just create music, he's never going to stop. Like if he just keeps making disses, now your whole career is responding to him. Let's just say in one record, you done said everything that you wanted to say. Now you about to start making stuff up? Now you just about to manufacture fake outrage and fake this and fake that. That's why I don't, a lot of times I might get killed for not saying stuff. Maybe when people are being overly disrespectful or they really out of pocket and I don't say nothing. It's because I'm not really about all that fake outrage. I think it's a scam. That's kind of like being a wrestling heel when you do that. When you constantly like you just start just going mad and crazy. That happens a lot in the conscious community. People just start going off. I think what just happened today. People just start going off out the way just for no apparent reason. You just yelling and screaming and yelling and screaming. That's all fake outrage. You ain't actually gonna do nothing. You're not actually, nobody's pulling up. Nobody's catching a flight to go nowhere. This ain't really beef. We just talking this, that, and the other. Now, I could choose not to deal with you after that. But I've seen this happen so many times. Jokers cuss somebody out and be right back on the same panel the next day. I done seen people threaten to go, I'm coming to your house, you coming to my house. And then the next day, it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe in the fake outrage and fake beef, but I understand where Cole's coming from. Ain't nobody gonna be arguing like that all the time.
Because ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, nobody got time for that. You know, Logic is gonna be doing shows. He gets a lot of hate. The way you kill people with hate, you kill them with success.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't kindness. You don't got to be kind to them. You can ignore them. But you kill them with success. if you don't do nothing and you have no success and you have no this in the chosen field that they criticizing you in, then they won. You know, y'all understand where I'm coming from or no?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I was about to end the show on that.
Nigga Kush Cumbers, TMI 2024. We love y'all. We've been here for an hour and some change.
Yeah, DQ. Check. Have you ever had a dream in the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. If you made it come true, cause you stay down. Nigga, have you ever really thought about the limelight? In a room full of stars when you shine bright. I'ma make the right move when the time right. Alright. Nigga, have you ever had a dream during the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. If you made it come true, cause you stay down. Nigga, have you ever really thought about the limelight? In the room full of stars when you shine bright. I'ma make the right move when the time right. Calculated every step, so I can't stand a hater out here hating on. Niggas out here making moves, see a hand out the type of shit they waiting on. DQ. Look.
Dumping my swisher guts on my high school diploma. Knowing I'm highly educated from my aroma. Don't know where it's coming from, but I know it's marijuana. And you can smell the leaves in the room.
Check. Look, I got a new weed strand, come from New Zealand. And it's a new weed brand from my new weed man. Connected to the growers, I'm a true weed fan. I'm a true weed stand. Green thumb and green hand. Jammin' Lee Village, I'm a cool geek, man. I got a smooth freak who chillin' for a cool week, man. Running through them papers like a Newsweek thing. Cause all my cushions fuckier than Juneteenth bands. I'm selling